Yeah.
I'll ask you maybe tomorrow about these receipts, like for mobile home parks. It says 62.
Yeah, well, I only started in, was it August, so that would have happened before also.
Okay.
from
So is it
January.
by site, is that the number?
Each mobile home is $10. It used to be $5.
Gotcha, so it is by site. Okay, okay.
Okay, if we get started with me, I'd like to start with a small prayer and then the pledge. Lord, be with us today as we conduct the town business. Lead us and guide us in the right directions, hopefully. And please be with people that are suffering from our COVID and try to keep them safe if you could. We ask you in this Jesus' name, amen. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first order of business will be Nancy Rader being sworn in by Carol. If you would, please.
Would you like me to?
You could probably stay right there, it's fine.
Oh, I never signed that.
Do you, Nancy Rader, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of town councilman according to the best of your ability?
I do.
Welcome aboard, Nancy.
Official.
Okay, next would be privilege of the floor. Anybody have anything that they would like to bring to the board?
About doing something with these bicycles riding up and down in the dark.
Like the motorized bicycles?
No,
Pedal bicycles.
bicycle. They're going by my house, 1:12, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're going right over to 62 Spencer Avenue.
There's just been a lot of drugs in Candor that need to be stressed and then, brought to the attention so we could try to clear it up. I mean, I own the property on 62, but it's next to impossible with the COVID stuff to get rid of anybody.
It is.
And I'm not sure if you guys could do anything, but I just need to get rid of her and to clear up a lot of the drugs in Candor.
Like the bicycles. They're going up and down the street here. And they're gonna get hit. I don't care what they may be getting away with all this time now, but you don't know who's gonna come up through here flying, and then they're gonna get hit, and whose fault is it gonna be?
Yeah.
It's gonna be the guy who's driving the vehicle, or the woman,
Mhm.
and then what? Because they gotta go over there and get their drugs.
You can reach out to Martin Kochko,
Marty Kopko from the
Yeah.
fire department, who's also the state police investigator for truck task
Well,
force.
gotta do something with it, okay? It just,
You got his number? I got his number.
Yep, I got him.
Yeah, did you contact the police at all?
Oh, yeah, they've been over there. Tammy just found a bag of meth a couple weeks ago. And, all they can do is they just go over there and they watch the place, but they got a catch and release program now. You
Yeah,
the cops do,
I know.
So
Yeah.
they really can't do too much, but you know, they,
The worst part about it is, every time the cops get called over there, the upstairs floods the downstairs.
well, they just flush the drugs right down the drain and they don't do nothing. They, in Tiger County don't have dogs that take them in there, you know, take the dogs in to check. So they're pretty much screwed.
You know, the bicycle's
I
got,
mean, I'm willing to clean it up, it's really hard to kick anybody out. She hasn't paid rent in over a year, so, and with this COVID stuff, you know, I can't get anybody out, you know, it's, I tried, but,
Did you come in and talk to our court system about that?
oh, yeah.
Our justice?
You know, they get the hardship thing and then they just keep postponing it, and then right now they can't do nothing until, January 17th, it's pretty much set, so you can't kick anybody out. So it means they don't have to pay rent.
Yeah.
So there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
I mean,
something's gotta be done, I don't care, it's just ridiculous.
yeah,
I know Richard and I talked earlier, I don't know what the board can do,
Yeah.
because I think they've gone over our heads already as far as, with the sheriff's department. I would try what Edward said, and maybe I could give you that gentleman's, name and phone number, and maybe you can contact him, and maybe he can give you some more advice
yeah. Well,
if you'd like to do that. But as far as our hands, I don't see what we can do.
Just to clean cops, I'll tell you, I don't care, I'll tell them right to their face.
Yeah.
It's a clean cops instead of dirty ones.
I mean, that catch and release program they have going on kind of sucks, you know?
Oh, we all agree.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, is there anything else?
No, that's about it.
Okay, if so, we'll move on to, let's start with December 14th regular meeting minutes. Is there something we want to change with that, Jim, on 99 that you were talking about?
Yeah, I'm not sure we were actually clear about, giving the code enforcer the town's, the mechanic's pickup truck until the town gets another pickup truck to replace it. I don't think that I don't remember it being like that anyway.
How about if we just take out is and put when in there?
When, that would be probably better.
Yeah, pickup truck when available. That pretty much solves it, right?
I believe so.
And then
Yeah.
our code officer can
Does that
coordinate
work
with
with you,
Kevin.
Kevin?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
What about if until we get him a pickup truck, if he needed, a pickup, he could come over and use it if need be, or if it was available, or?
If it was available,
If
yeah.
it was available,
I mean, I haven't got a
possibly.
problem with that. You know, if you could use the mechanic's truck as long, you
Right.
know, if we're not.
Coordinate it with you guys to make sure.
Yeah, Polly and I can coordinate that.
Yeah, he's got your number, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Does he need to get put on the town's insurance to drive a town vehicle like that also? I'm assuming.
Well,
right?
once you
As a town employee, I
It's-
think
once he became an
Right.
employee, yes.
He's already on the insurance, or gonna be?
he should be. We can check on that.
Yeah. Okay. We wouldn't want something happening.
Right. I'll check with
So
Nymer on that. I believe
It's gonna
once
say the mechanic's
once
pickup
they-
truck,
they're in the,
comma, when available.
civil service, it's sent over there, goes with Nymer also. But I will double check on that for you to make sure.
Can be used.
I think all employees are covered, Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, anybody that's employed by the town,
Yeah.
I believe
So
so.
he had to produce a driver's license number and all that.
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I got on the minutes.
I move we approve as amended.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll abstain since I wasn't there for that meeting.
Okay. The next would be the organizational meeting that we had January 7th, appointing positions. Due to only 3 of us being there, everybody was, some people were out of town and some people not feeling well. So it took us a while to get a quorum. We were supposed to do this on January 7th.
No, the
Or
second.
January 2nd, 3rd.
Third.
Yeah, something like that, 3rd or 4th.
I move we approve the organizational meeting.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain.
I'll abstain as well.
Okay. Financial report. We have like 3 abstracts here. Abstract 13, which we all signed December 30th. The general, we spent $8,636.91. And then the highway was $51,250.85. Motion to accept the abstract 13.
Was it 13 or 14?
13. 14 is from the end. 14 is right here, December.
Okay, all right, that's
Yeah.
what I had written down, that's why I asked, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve abstract 13.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Actually, that's a roll call, I'm sorry.
Reichert,
Aye.
Douglas,
Aye.
Strussel,
Aye.
Rixey,
Aye.
Raider,
Aye.
Okay. Abstract 14, which is this one.
Okay.
As you'll tell, it wasn't very long in the period. General fund was $1,378.39. The highway was $9,832.52.
I move we approve abstract 14.
I second.
Reichert,
Aye.
Douglas,
Aye.
Strussel,
Aye.
Rixey,
Aye.
Raider,
Aye.
And abstract 1 is the beginning of this year. We're only 11 days in, and the general fund is $15,891.26. There was no highway, that won't be until next month.
I make a motion that we approve abstract number 1.
I'll second.
Reichert,
Aye.
Douglas,
Aye.
Strussel,
Aye.
Rixey,
Aye.
Raider,
Aye.
The town clerk has submitted her monthly report, which I have received and signed. Secondly is her town clerk's 2021 annual report. I'd like to, which everybody has a copy of, and we can approve that.
I make a motion that we approve the 2021 annual report from the town clerk.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Also in my report, I have received the Historical Society's annual report also.
We don't have a copy of that though, right, Bill?
No,
Okay.
that just goes on file. Okay.
Bill?
Just as a thing, as part of the law that Governor Hochul set, if, since things are virtual, when motions are set for A or nay, you have to actually raise your hand.
Also, they can see it?
Yes.
Oh, because
good
of our
point
math?
now.
Sorry.
That's
No,
all
That's a
right.
good point.
Thank you.
I didn't know.
Yeah. It just,
I'm glad you did
suddenly
that after.
remembered, like.
Okay, we'll move on to the Assessors Committee.
I really don't have anything to report other than lots of, tax bills are coming in and, Denise has been helping a lot in the town clerk's office.
Awesome. Good. There's no more questions on that. And I have to apologize, Nancy, as you've noticed, I put you on some committees here.
I did notice that, yes.
And
A
if-
few times over.
And I
You
probably
signed
should,
up for it.
yeah, I should have, I probably
Yeah.
contacted you before you come in to let you know that. And you can look these over, and if you feel that you're comfortable with them, we'll stay with that. We can work something out. Under buildings and grounds,
Just coming in today, I just noticed that sign. I know we talked about it before, but it's not lit out there and it's starting to rust out. The entry sign coming in down by the highway. I think maybe we ought to start thinking about replacing it.
We had talked about
We have talked about it.
replacing it with some of our
And LED.
relief money.
Yeah, with some LED signs, and so we should investigate that a little further.
okay.
Actually, I think it needs to be a bigger sign.
Yes, it does,
Yeah,
or at least
Way bigger,
higher.
'cause, yeah,
Yeah,
Not too high, because you want to be able to see
Yeah,
over it to
but-
pull out.
yeah. I mean, it would be great to have an LED there that you could program, and you know, even public events that are happening here at the town hall,
Mhm.
things, farmers market, whatever, planning board, town board meetings.
Well, come springtime, if you want to investigate now, see how much one's gonna cost.
Okay, I can look into that.
And can somebody retime the parking lights out here, please?
Again,
Yep.
I can do that too.
I've been doing it. Are they not coming on soon enough or going off too soon enough?
Going off too soon.
Okay. Yeah, we could change that.
I don't
If
know
you be patient, it'll catch up with it.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
I don't know if we can look back in minutes, but I know at some point, the board did make a proposal to change that sign.
Yes, yeah,
It
we
just
did.
never happened.
It was a few
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I think we ought to revisit it.
I know that there was budgeted, it was put in, and it was supposed to be done, but we never.
No, I don't remember
Yeah.
I
that.
don't remember it being budgeted.
That's
Yeah.
what I wondered, I thought it had gotten approved.
I don't think it was
Yeah,
ever
the-
approved, but
I don't think so either, because I
I'll
don't,
look back in minutes, but I know there was.
I think you gotta go back even before 18,
Yeah,
Oh,
I believe it was. It was a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I wanna say
because we haven't done it since I was
2016,
done as supervisor.
I was gonna say, and we're all new.
If I go back and look when the Legion got theirs, I think it was around that
It was
time.
around that, yes, because it was right at the board transition too.
Okay.
It was voted on, and then the next round, it got lost, I guess, in the transition.
yeah, signs will be better now anyway.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm kind of glad, I'd like to see that up. The fire department's got a nice one out there now. and-
Yeah,
Okay, Ed, thanks. Code enforcement. Mr. Douglas, you've been working with him.
yeah, we have a new code enforcement officer, Paul Tubbs, and he's actually gonna be starting here tomorrow, I believe. And I'm gonna come down with him, and because I was the code officer for 21 years, I'm gonna just show him a few things on the computer and stuff like that, so I'm sure he'll work out fine.
And speaking of which, the code enforcement software has been updated.
Yeah.
Through Williamson, so
Yeah.
that's a good way for Paul to start.
Nobody's got any questions on that. We'll move on to the justice.
Don't have anything on that.
No, I haven't seen much going on, just the normal.
Yeah.
Twice a month. Okay. Cemeteries, we won't have anything right now, would we, Jim?
I don't think so. Maybe a little snow on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not been contacted by that gentleman either.
Okay.
Just to keep you guys updated, I've not heard from him.
And also, we'll bring it up again, but just a reminder that before we do put it out for bid, we want to reevaluate the many times that these cemeteries are being
Yes.
mowed.
Definitely.
Yeah, after last year, they weren't.
Just want to
really
keep
done.
reminding ourselves and
Oh,
don't
yeah.
forget.
Yeah,
And
well, I'm sure we won't forget.
probably, yeah, start looking into it next month or something. We'll find out. Because then by March and April's starting. You know.
Yeah, we want to get the bids out.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, highway.
Yeah, well, I talked to Kevin and he's here tonight. I talked to him the last couple of days and he's got a few things going on.
All righty.
Well, winter is officially here in my eyes. So we've been playing that game. So far, so good on equipment, except for my pickup. It's at the dealership now, trying to be evaluated. They didn't get it in. I called probably 1:30, 1:45 today. I don't even know what time it was. They hadn't gotten it in yet to even hook it to the computer. I'm hoping that they do it tomorrow. The bad news is that may be out 6 to 8 weeks. There's a national back order on the part that everybody's telling me is broke on it.
What won't it do?
Won't shift.
Oh,
Ouch.
It's locked in park.
it's locked in park, so you have to,
We towed it back to the shop so we could get the sander and the plow off it. And then I called Dodge and they sent a tow truck up to the shop, picked it
Okay.
up, took it to the dealership.
is it at Royal or
It
something?
is. Yep,
What
Which-
year is
which-
that?
Yeah, which truck is that?
2020.
So it should be under,
Oh, everything's covered under warranty.
Okay.
It's just a matter of
Yeah.
nobody's got a part.
so what do you use it in the meantime?
Nothing.
Your own personal vehicle?
No. I'm driving the Chevy, but as far as like plowing the village and stuff like that, I pulled Tony off this morning from his normal route, and he's doing it, and then we basically divvied up his route.
Just takes a little longer to plow now.
What's that?
Takes a little longer to plow everything now.
It does, takes a little longer to plow everything, you know. I talked to Holly at the bus garage, she's aware of it, so, you know, we'll get through it. I don't like the 6 or 8 weeks, you know,
Yeah.
it was my nightmare, I think I talked to you guys about it earlier, you know. It's $235 part and it's gonna hold it up 6 weeks. Ridiculous.
It's kind of hard for the course now.
We did get approved for the Bridge New York program, I think everybody's aware of that.
Yeah.
So that's good news. No word on the culvert through Soil and Water yet. I did talk to him the other day again, and he's thinking probably late January or early February before we hear on that. So cross your fingers on that. That'll be a nice little bonus for us if we get approved for that too.
Yeah.
What road's that on?
Tuttle Hill. It'll be right at the bottom, of the Foster Farm.
Not the one by,
Finish line.
finish line.
That's new.
Yeah, that's new. We already did that one. It's the
Out by the
basic.
farm then.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the second pipe up.
Yeah, just kind of across where their new barn is.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Bill. May not be nothing. Why isn't there a line on that road going up Honeypot in the middle?
Mhm. We did that once
Yeah,
and, we were gonna try to continue to do that and we didn't do it. But as you notice, that paint eats the middle of that road up. Next thing you have holes in the center line there.
well, I'll tell you
So-
what, I hope if nobody has a serious accident, I think they could sue the county.
No, they can't sue anybody for not having lines. Cornell actually did a study, Dick, and I didn't believe this at first, and I've read it a couple times. I'll print it out for you. When you paint lines down the center of a road, the average speed for a car increases 5 to 8 miles per hour.
Yeah, you know, you as well as I do, if it's foggy as hell,
I understand
you
that.
can't see the,
I'm not a fan of it. They destroy the center of our road. We use pug mill mix. I don't like it. If you drive up Honeypot right today, every single pothole that's in that is in the center of the road. I'm not a big fan of them. And I truly believe that they slow people down
well,
by not having them.
potholes in the center of the road, because that's how they join the road.
I was on the board when we first started that. We fought that quite a while with Kevin, and he finally did it. And so we haven't addressed it since. We were going to, like the next year, he was supposed to paint it again, and we didn't. And we just kind of didn't ask him to keep doing that. So
The price is ungodly.
Yeah.
And it
but
only
to
lasts
save
a year.
life,
yeah, you'd have to do it every
I
year.
mean, I remember that it was there one day and seemed like gone the next, but I thought
The
it was my
price is
imagination.
ungodly.
like, I don't care, I worked for Lofty for 23 years. When they joined the road, right in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay? That's where they joined the two roads, right in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
when they blacktop a road. They don't blacktop it over here, it's in the middle. That's one of the reasons why it probably screws it up, because they have to crack down the middle.
Yeah, and then paint over it. Yeah. Okay, if nothing else on the highway department?
Did you want
Um,
to touch base on the Wiltieville Square?
I could touch base on it a little bit. I talked to him. It's,
And you talked to,
Benjamin?
no. I actually talked to the gentleman who left. I just lost his name.
yeah, you told us earlier.
Anyways, I talked to him about it, and I actually
And this is
talked,
from DOT,
no, county highway. Department.
County Highway, okay.
Yeah, and I actually caught the boss up there the other day. He was out checking roads, and we stopped and talked a little bit about it. And it's just been so crappy, Patty. I know that he just hasn't sent anybody out.
But it is not the town's responsibility, the county has
No,
to
what's
fix it.
happening is the water's coming down from the Wilseyville Road and Coddington Road, running right down through there. And
Okay.
They did pardon my language, a bad job when they redid it after they took the detour out, and they agreed to fix it then, and it's never been fixed. It's never been right.
Because there's been some public concern, so I just wanted
Oh,
to
it's
address it.
It's bad.
And speaking of which, what about Lake Hill?
I just pulled it up because you reminded me of that. Lathrop Road. Of course, we
Sorry.
repaved that this year.
Yeah.
And a gentleman up there was kind of concerned because we didn't back the shoulders up on it. I knew you did,
Yes,
though,
we
but.
did.
Well, you
In
said you
certain
did.
places.
Okay.
Yeah, in
Well-
places we did, places we didn't, Bill.
And then, of course, his next question was Lake Hill going on down the hill to West
Next
Creek
year.
next year. And I didn't know when that was going to be done. I didn't know if you'd done that under CHIPS years ago or not.
It qualifies again.
It does?
Yeah.
Awesome. He'll be glad
Yeah,
to hear
it's
that.
on my look list. There's quite a bit of work that has to be done to the top side.
Did you say something about a hole being in the pipe or something?
It's out
Yeah,
at the bottom. Yeah,
that's right.
About that down by the
Yeah,
road.
we filled it in.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's there. It come back.
All right.
And he was, he mentioned his driveway, and I have the address right here, 240.
Been there 3 times.
Okay, so you
Okay,
know,
so
you're
you're
aware.
working on
I
it.
told him that I would bring it up to you to,
I'm just
To your
making a
attention.
statement, when your house is below the road, we can't make your driveway level.
Hey, what about across the street from the ice cream store? The water runs right across the.
that's a state.
That's State Road.
I know. That driveway's been built up so high,
Yeah, they don't.
it won't go the other way. But they seem to like it. They don't say nothing to them. So, okay.
Did you,
Actually, I have a question, because there's been some chitter chatter on Facebook too about the Prospect Valley Road Bridge. So if you could just kind of give like an update, Bridge New York got approved.
We'll
What
let,
does that mean as far as the
Yeah,
timeline?
it's funny, it was the day after the
Mhm.
board meeting in December is when we heard. It was the day after we last met, and the southern tier, I think, ended up with 28 million, and we ended up with 2 of that 28, so it's pretty exciting.
Well, do you think you can do it for that?
Yeah, definitely. So we put the application together, we had Labella engineers put the application
Right.
together for us,
Yep.
and part of the application was a cost estimate, and
Right.
so we have them go on the heavy side,
Right,
and I'm sure we can do it economically
right.
with with precast or something like that.
So
But
does that kind of fast track it sort of, or what does it mean, like a timeline, like what's next?
so, the DOT just reached out to Bill and I think last week,
Uh-huh.
or right before Christmas, and then the lady went on vacation for a week. So we have some paperwork to fill out with them. I think there's a service level agreement that we need this between DOT and Candor. So we put up 5% of the cost and the state takes care of 95%.
Right,
And I need to get a proposal from Labella. When we did a request for qualifications a year ago, so we could pick a firm to do the application for us.
right,
But we left the option open that whoever was successful that we selected Labella, that we would
Right.
continue with the design with
makes
them.
sense.
So I need to get a proposal from them. They're working on that right now.
Uh-huh.
But I think the game plan, we would have a feasibility phase.
Uh-huh.
And I'd like to have a lot of town public meetings. I think it's important we can talk about the different options for types of bridges.
Oh, cool.
And then what we would get for maintenance,
Right.
the amount of maintenance we'd have to put in per year. Because the most economical might be might cost more over the life of the bridge.
Right, that makes sense.
So it'd be good to have that discussion, then maybe we can hone in on a type of bridge. And at that point, it's just going through the motions of coming up with bid documents.
Wow, cool.
So I imagine that we would spend this year getting to bid documents, maybe bidding it in the next year for construction.
Cool.
So,
So Labella's gonna do the design on it then?
well, I think they're in Rochester, all the other firms were Buffalo and New York
Right,
City,
but you said that was kind of part of our agreement originally.
that we could proceed. So-
Yeah, but then, once we get the design, it'll go out to public bid.
But I think it's important, we can definitely have heavy community involvement in the design and talking about different configurations. We went heavy with the cost estimate. 2 million is what we're capped at. We wanted to be conservative because once you ask for the money, you can't get more.
Right.
And then who knows what construction materials will be in 2 years, so.
Well, good job, Rob.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
You're
I think
you're
we're,
doing a wonderful job.
yeah,
Keep
thank you.
And that's the normal timeline.
No, I
They
understand.
usually award them in November, December.
Oh,
You
no,
spend a year with engineering and then the next year the project's complete.
I know that the public in general might go, oh my God, that's so long, but after coming to these meetings for as long as I've been coming, and the Catatonic Creek Bridge
Mhm.
and all that, the state government runs slow. So in some ways, this is actually fast, in my opinion. But that's only, I mean, I'm not an expert, but that's just what I better stop talking.
We were definitely pretty lucky because the bridge was so bad. It's probably one of the worst in the county.
Oh, cool.
But we'll definitely have to be more proactive. So Kevin and I and maybe the board, we can look at some of the remaining bridges we have in Culver and see what the big uglies are.
Yeah, one of the deciding factors I was told was the location of that bridge and the lack of access from the other end.
Mhm.
You know, that was key. It really was when they made that decision.
There are no alternatives. Period.
So,
All seasonal, yeah.
Well, thank you again. I appreciate the update.
Kevin, did you get a chance to call about that pickup truck today or?
I guess there's nothing available. They have an open order coming in. They're hoping by the end of January. And he was gonna get back to me. He said some of them were spoken for. He said they think they were getting 12 units. And he wasn't sure. I didn't hear anything more from him.
I just talked to him about, about the pickup we were talking about to replace.
Yeah.
So he was gonna call. What about our fuel tank situation? Where are we at with that? Anything
The
yet?
parts are ordered. I talked to him between Christmas and New Year's, and he's still hoping middle of January, so next couple weeks.
Still, right?
Yeah, and he said it should be, one of the questions that I had for him is how long are they gonna be down? And he said that he could probably in one day get it working enough. If we needed fuel, we could do it.
Yeah.
But there'll be one day so we can work around that. You know, it's not a 2 week or week
I would
process.
hope not.
Yeah, me too. I didn't even really think about it until the later time.
Wasn't there a question regarding the contract about one of the costs, if that was included or not, that you were gonna verify with him?
Yeah, it's a plug and play type system. If you download it on a flash drive, bring it in, plug it into the computer. He said the system that's on the pumps, when you plug that flash drive in, he said it'll be right there.
So there was no additional charge? Okay.
Any low boy news?
No.
Keep plugging
They're
away.
being made as we speak. Nobody will give me a price because they don't know what the prices are until they hit their showrooms, so to speak. Everybody's saying probably a 30% increase over last year.
Yeah, I don't-
Wow, 30%?
Yep,
Yeah.
steel prices.
Wow.
Should take my scraps in.
That's all I got for you.
That's all I got.
Did you happen to check about what a plow may cost for the new?
I did not.
Possibly, you just checked the pickup.
I think we spent just a tick over 10,000, 10,800 for the
Yeah.
plow and sander. I don't even wanna give a guess, maybe another 2,000 to 3,000 on top of that, so 13,000. I don't know, I didn't
On
even,
top of 50 roughly for a truck probably.
yeah, and I may be way off, I may be way too conservative, I don't know, I didn't even measure there, Jimmy.
Yeah, okay.
I could do a little, investigating tomorrow.
Is the village gonna still shovel the sidewalk?
I believe they are.
Yeah, I don't know.
They already swept once here, the last snowstorm they had. They had their little bobcat out sweeping.
I just don't understand why they didn't extend the sidewalk by my house.
It's out of the village.
Oh, it's in the village. The village line is right here at the cemetery.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were talking about this house. I was talking about your other one. Yeah. Well, as you can see, I don't know what the deal is with that, but I, like down there by, Quicks there, at the laundromat, I see they finally finished that, this summer.
Where's your house?
Right,
Across the cemetery.
Next to it.
Reynolds.
Oh, over here, that's right.
yeah.
Allenbeck's whole place.
I know they were attendant, they are intending on doing that, and there in front of the cemetery needs to be replaced anyway. I think they had a little issue with the state on that. That's why it didn't get done yet.
And when they put the sidewalk in, I asked the guy, I said, can you go another 20 feet? And he's like, oh, no, we gotta go where it was before. I was like, come on, and then I've gotten turned in for not shoveling my sidewalk. And I says, well, what do?
You don't have one.
I shovel it to the end, and people gotta walk, if you only shovel the sidewalk, then the
Yeah.
next 20 feet is guard. So
Yeah,
you're gonna turn me in for that?
yeah, you need to go to the village.
I said, go over there at the cemetery, they don't shovel theirs, and then they wanna turn me in.
Yeah.
Back to the highway, are we going to order next year's truck now? Even though we haven't
Yeah,
gotten
I'll get up.
last year's truck yet?
Yeah, to give you an update on that, they're hoping April on that.
That's the soonest that you're gonna be able to put it out for bid?
No.
We're gonna have it.
We
Oh,
ordered
the
it was supposed to be
Last year's
in-
truck in April.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
supposed to be in October.
It'll all be done, this plow and everything on it then?
No.
Then you
that
gotta
was the
take it-
truck,
Is
yeah.
that
So
what
there'll
you
be
were
another
talking
couple
about, the
months,
plow just now?
No, I was talking about a pickup plow.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's fine.
No, that's just
fine.
chassis in, Jim.
Yeah.
I wanna get up there and talk to them, yes.
Yeah.
I need to.
So when will you order the truck out of this year's budget?
I will
When,
get-
when does that usually happen?
I think that one I ordered in January.
So you ordered it, oh, okay, so then
It's
this
coming,
year's
yeah.
truck will be,
Yeah,
Order.
probably January, February,
Okay.
somewhere in there. I'll bring you guys a price, that way you can accept it, decline it, whatever, and we'll go from there.
okay.
Yeah, we had more on the highway department than we thought, didn't we?
That time of year.
Yeah,
Dog control.
Got Denise's, report here. She's got 7 dog complaints. Dangerous dog complaint 1, 3 running at large, 7 reported lost. Dogs found 1. So that's about it she's got.
So they lost 7 but found 1?
Nobody got bit, yeah.
or they came back home.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
the annual report. You didn't get
I'll
one
take
of those?
responsibility.
That was under my-
Dog pound, sorry.
No, I didn't get.
Okay, turn it over.
What's that?
That's from,
For the dog pound, I called her.
Oh,
Trade Haven,
Oh.
inspection.
Okay.
Well done.
I thought you had one when I saw it here.
I think so. So the inspections went well for the
Stray Havens.
Straight Haven, yes.
Billy,
Yes, sir.
can I have you write that number down for me?
Ed has it,
I don't have it on my phone, but I know Curtis has it.
and he just went outside for the phone call.
There's.
If not,
He's calling.
I can get it to you
He's
tomorrow.
coming right back in.
I'll
so.
get with you, Bill.
All right,
I'll get with you. Wait, well,
Yeah, Curtis has it. He's
I'm
coming
gonna
back.
send around a number.
Nick, you guys wanna go over to the fire station. He's
I gotta
usually
find
there
out
Yeah.
on Thursday
what
night
I
for
meant to
practice.
do.
Oh.
We'll work on
good to
that.
know.
No,
No,
the
Marty.
A lot of
state
stuff
trooper
to do.
investigator.
Yeah,
Maybe,
and then
we
what
wanna
did you
go
do?
over and talk to him on Thursday.
Does
he have to leave?
Marty's cop.
No, I'm
Right
good.
over here.
Kelly and Dan are
So
covering,
who's
so it's okay.
responsible
Okay.
for
They
finding
want
all
you
those
to
records?
stop over to the fire station.
So are we,
Wait for Bill.
So we're
Okay.
just entering the official.
Almost.
nothing more on the dogs, right? You did
No.
the annual report for that.
Yep.
Drug
All right.
enforcement task force.
I'd like to move on to the EMS now.
He's a good guy.
We have Curtis
this is
here.
Curtis Hammond, and he's the operations director.
Yep.
And he's going to be giving us the, end of the year
End of the year, beginning of the
report
year.
for 2021.
That's this copy here that everybody received. Is that what you're talking about?
We're gonna talk about it, but there's more to it than just
Okay.
that one.
All right.
All right, so for 2021, we ended up with 692 calls for the squad. So a good year for our run calls numbers. I can get exact figures on how many were covered versus how many we lost because of code 2 or no crew. Those statistics are being much more monitored now than they were before. A lot of Patty-friendly spreadsheets are involved with that.
Ooh, I like it.
I know you would. So now the way I have it set up is every time we get a call, it goes into a spreadsheet. I document, how fast we were out the door for each call. If that call required what we call an ALS intercept, which is if a call was like a BLS level call where they needed a paramedic and we had to call like a WeGo or Cantville or something like that. We did do 24-hour staffing at paramedic level. So we do have on staff 24/7 paramedics now.
Yay.
But there's always that possibility that one might be sick. And sometimes we can only get an EMT to cover that because paramedics are very thin as far as coverage right now. It's hard to find them. So every now and then that might happen. But for right now, we do have 24/7 paramedic and driver staffing, which is part of the contract that we signed last year. So a couple things that I wanted to bring to your attention. Since we started, actually, everything, our out the door time or en route time to a call has gone from 12 minutes down to 2 minutes and 52 seconds. So that's how fast we're getting to a call, which is about 4 minutes less than the national average, which is
good.
I'm happy with that number.
Yeah.
We have a lot of different things coming into the county as far as EMS goes right now. The county is doing an EMS study because we talked about this in a lot of our meetings. It wasn't just Candor that's struggling. We stepped up and we saved the squad here, but there's a lot of places that are struggling, not having a crew or not being able to. I just got it in an update that Nichols is no longer going to have an ambulance during the day right now. They're going to go automatic mutual aid from 6A to 6P. And that's not just them, it's everywhere. So Tioga County is doing an EMS study. They hired a company out of Buffalo or Rochester to actually look at the entire countywide EMS system and come up with an idea on how we can fix it. And when we were talking to that company, they looked at how we did everything here and they said that we are ahead of the time. So what we did is exactly what they're going to hope to try and do, but we got ahead of it. So we're kind of the piloting agency for the county, which is kind of nice.
That's thanks to
is.
you and Brad Fensky.
Well, and thanks to you guys for working with us. So I mean, there's a big team effort on that. So it's really nice. The other thing that's with the county is because we're staffed, we are being used to go mutual aid. So there's a possibility for growth potential down the road with other agencies having trouble that we might be able to help them out a little bit more and maybe eventually go to a 2-staff truck where we have 2 crews on 24/7, you know, and that is something that, you know, 5-10 years down the road, we might have to look at and see where we are.
I know that's one of the things that is also concerning to the residents.
Yep.
If you have to go to somebody's call
And
out,
I track that
Would
on
you
my
understand
spreadsheet.
that?
On that spreadsheet, I can tell you exactly how many times we lost a call. And since we started talking about it, since I started tracking it, there was only twice that it happened since June, where we were in another area when one of our calls came out. So only twice has it happened.
okay.
So I mean, I track it. I am, like I said, Patty friendly spreadsheets, you know, so.
And just for resident remembers that since they're being paid through their taxes, the only billing that the town residents will receive will be the copay.
Yep,
And-
it's just like a copay or whatever they have with their insurance provider that they
deductible.
have to come out with.
Yep,
It's
okay.
the same billing that we always did. The only difference is now that and that was the next thing I wanted to talk about was our billing stuff. Back in September, we started the paperwork and got it officially switched over to Multimed, which part of our contract requires us to use a third-party billing agency instead of in-house billing. Multimed's one of the largest ambulance billing agencies in New York State. And since we started in September, we saw our bill, right? Our
Good night. Thank
billing
you for coming.
out, our billing out is up about 40%. Our billing income is up about 25%, which is good. You know, we're seeing good numbers. I've been working really closely with Bill Shipman and Liz Griffith up at Multimed Billing to correct a lot of they weren't problems, but they were just the way it was always done. You know, small agency didn't really have a lot of need for hardcore billing like this. And the way we have to do it is we have to get every penny we can out of those insurance companies so we can try and decrease and have surplus, hopefully, to go back against next year's taxes. So there's a report on your desk in front of you, and I want to just kind of explain this real quick to you. They tell you have the number of claims per month. So you can see September was lowest. That's because we started September 13th.
Okay.
So that's why there was only 29 claims in September. We actually did 72 calls in September, but some of them weren't through Multimed. So the claims number is how many billable runs we have per that month. Okay. And then the gross charges is everything that we send out. Now, the only problem is like we talked about in all of our meetings, just because you bill it doesn't mean you're going to get it. So the next line is what we call, and it actually deleted the thing, so I'm going to tell you, it's called contractual allowances. So the next line is stuff that we can't collect. When you bill Medicare, for instance, or Medicaid, you get approximately 28 to 30% of the bill. Okay. And those are contractual allowances that get written off. We can never collect on anything. So that next column there is stuff that we will never see.
Wow. Out of the 307.
Out of the 307.
So
That's like
that's a
50%.
negative then, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that too. The net charges, that next column, that's the portion that we pay Multimed to actually go after. That's the insuranceable amount, that's the co-pays, that's all of that. And that's the number that we get paid out of. So right now, that net charges amount, and then you see the payments, that's how much we've actually received since then. And since billing did so well, we actually managed to get through 2021 without having to take out another loan.
That's great.
Yes, it was awesome.
So when you pay Multimed, is it based on the net charges?
It's based on the net charges. They
Gotcha.
only charge
Their
us for when they
percentage.
collect.
Okay.
Yep. So, and then the balance, the last one there, that is, or no, the second to last one is write-offs. Write-offs are ones that go to a collections agency. And for one reason or another, maybe we'll never be able to collect on them. We have to write it off. Okay. And then lastly, the balance, that one is the number of what we're still hoping to get back in and billing. So a normal billing, typical billing range is from 60 to 90 days. And currently we are just hitting the 90-day mark for some of our billing in September. So we're doing really well with the billing. The billing program went well. It is set up so it's in a separate account, just like the contract was written. One of the big things that I wanted to talk about tonight was one of the words in the contract was missed when we talked on the phone with Pinsky and we were negotiating it. You remember how we were talking about the 175, it's $175,000 that we have to make in billing. There was one word that was missed. It's supposed to say 175,000 in profit, not revenue, profit. And the reason that word is so important, and I can't make a copy of this because there's actually information you guys can't see on it, but we actually get billed however much we get paid from those patients, we actually get billed a portion of that to Multimed. So out of that, number there, we lost $8,000 so far because we had to pay them to do their hard billing. Now, it's still a good percentage. We're still better off with this, but that contract needing to say profit, because at the end of the year, we could look at a $30,000 deficit because of that one little word. So I just wanted to make sure you remembered and understood, and if you had questions about that, we're gonna see over 175. I really believe it, just from these numbers that I see here so far. But we need to know that it's got to be the profit number after we pay the billing portion to Multimed.
Well, this is all a learning experience.
Yep.
And Brad said the same thing. So we put it up, thought 175 was going to be sufficient, but if it's not going to be, we'll just have to adjust it next year.
Well, I think the 175 will, but and after the 175 in profit, that goes back to the town. And we actually have to figure out how the heck to do that, sorry to my French there,
Yeah.
because we've never done it. And because billing is 60 to 90 days away, so in, August, when we're looking at numbers, we're only going to be able to project. We're not going to be able to give you that exact number.
Yeah, you're 3 months behind all the way.
We're 3 months behind all the way. So we don't actually know exactly how much we made in 2022 until the end of March of 2023. So this is going to be a giant learning curve for everything that we're doing.
Maybe we could adjust the contract to that.
Yeah.
For our start and stop dates.
And I don't have a problem getting a hold of Mr. Pinsky if we have to
Somehow,
adjust
I
that.
guess.
I would say no matter what, it's still a 12
It's
months.
still, yeah.
Yeah. And I've talked to Pinsky. We actually hired Pinsky over at the squad because we needed to update our bylaws, policies, and procedures. Brand new employee handbook. I mean, I hit the ground running hard in September. So we paid for him to come in, and that's actually what sparked the conversation with him. I was like, how do we do this? And he goes, well, it's just because you got to have that working relationship with the town. And so we're going to be talking a lot, and I'm going to be meeting you and talking to you a lot too. Patty had to get the brunt of me last year, so.
And
Why don't you talk to Penske about that word, how he wants to handle that?
I can talk to Brad about it.
Yeah.
And like I said, we already knew about it. It's just, I don't want there to be a question, in September when you guys see that we've made 175, but we really haven't made 175 because we've paid out 34 in billing to pay for them to do it.
Right.
So we really only made 140 at that point. But once we've made 175 in pure profit, then again, it goes back into the account and it goes against the next year's taxes like we talked about, like it's supposed to.
Right.
So that's really it with the billing part. And like I said, it is really, really taking off. I'm very excited for that. We did permanent interviews for all the full-timers that wanted full-time jobs. Those were all hired. We've offered them the health insurance. We've actually done all the applications for the health insurance. Everything's done, and it started January 1st.
So there's 4.
There are I actually figured out a way to manipulate the 175 that we had to make, cutting corners here, we actually have 6 full-timers.
Wow.
Nice.
So we actually have 6 full-timers. Correction, we have 7. One of them is got a job down south. So we will have 6, but I hope to have a 7th again, because with full-timers, we're able to hold them to a standard of employment where they have to work so many hours per week. So, with part-timers, they can just, call up and say, I don't want to come to work today, so I'm just not going to come. Full-timers.
Because they have to work so many hours in order to get their benefits.
Right. So I did figure out a way with the budget and the board to make that work. So we actually have 7 full-time positions now. And it works out. So we just received a grant. One of the things that I was working on was a grant for station rooms for 24/7 crews. Because that building wasn't really ever anticipated to have people there staying 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we got a grant from Community Foundation for 2 crew rooms, resting rooms that we're calling them. So they'll be able to actually be rested and ready for when somebody calls 911.
Now there's kind of one in there now.
It just had a couch.
Just a couch. Okay.
Just a couch.
Okay.
Yeah. So now there's actually going to be 2 separate closed off areas where you don't have to worry about, your neighbor snoring on the couch or anything like that. So, it gives them an opportunity to go in there, shut the door, turn the light off, sit in a chair and relax. So we're working on that project. I just got the building permit and the project started 2 days ago. So we're excited about that. And lastly, one of the things that we talked about was the how do we fix the low volunteer stats that we have? And it's not just here, but it's everywhere. So one of the things that I was working on as soon as I hit the ground was I went over to the school, met with the new superintendent, talked with the principal over there and the health education department. And we are actually going to start trying to figure out CFR in the Candor High School.
CFR.
Certified First Responder.
Thank you.
You're welcome. They're interested. They love it. They like the idea. I have to go and actually talk to all the students next week. We have approximately 20 kids that are interested in a junior program. And one of the new
amazing.
One of the new full-timers that we brought in is an educator as well. And she has a heart for educating youngsters that want to do this. And so she's actually going to be taking more of a lead on that so I can focus on all the other stuff that I get to do. But we're excited for the new junior opportunities that we're looking at and how we can just kind of revitalize that. We're also looking at a possibility of another STEAM grant, it's called. Groton High School did it where they actually were able to offer EMT in the school as a college program. So we're looking at that, which will be exciting as well.
Yeah, Candor has quite a few college programs.
Yep. Yeah, it's basically the same thing as for TST BOCES as it goes for TC3. So. But yes, we're very excited about that.
I have a question about the very beginning. If your response time, you cut it down way low, how? What'd you do?
Everybody has to be at the station when working. So before being a volunteer squad, everybody was just coming from home or wherever they might be. 2017, our response time was 14 minutes.
Yeah.
So, but that was because in the middle of the night, you have to be waking up, you have to get dressed, and if you're like me, you definitely have to go to the bathroom before you go on a call. But now they're in the station 24 hours a day, and I have an expectation. Anything over 5 minutes to me is unacceptable. So I told all the people when they got hired, my out the door time, I want to see less than 4 minutes, and they've done it.
Beautiful.
And we hire. If you listen on the scanner, you'll hear that our numbers did change. We're no longer 432 or 433. We're 2232 and 2233. That is because the new CAD system at the county is going to allow us to offer officer positions. We actually have 4 lieutenants that were appointed to do certain things for the squad, one of them being the junior program. We've got another guy that's working on IT and getting our website fixed and all stuff like that. And so everybody's working hard. They have a task and they're doing it, which is great. So yeah, so it's just, that's how we're doing it. We're just.
And that's through what police?
I'm not sure. Tioga County Dispatch?
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
you said you have people that are helping with, maybe I got confused there.
You're confusing me. Try it.
Okay, you were just saying that something about a lieutenant,
Yes. So the lieutenants we have,
and they're from
We re-
Tioga County?
they are from the squad. They're part of the full-time staff.
Oh, so they're,
Yep. So we restructured, when we hired Pinsky to do our bylaws and everything, we restructured the entire agency. Because there was not enough volunteers to even hold a lieutenant position anymore.
oh, so this is a position within the squad. I was thinking it was an outside
Nope.
organization. Okay,
So
all
we
right, sorry.
restructured the entire thing. We moved the officer positions to a paid staff that are always there. Because if you give them something to do while they're on duty, it gives them purpose, it gives them something to focus on, and it's worked well. We've cut cost on supplies tremendously because we have one person that's restocking and going to the hospital to exchange stuff for us, and we went from down about 15 to 20% on that. So it's just, and you're going to hear those lieutenant numbers. You'll probably hear on the radio too. We're actually setting it up so we have them strategically placed where if something bad happens, you might hear them on the radio coming en route. Same thing with me. So a lot of changes, a lot of excitement. And we should get together soon and figure out exactly what reports you're going to need from me on a monthly basis. I have a very detailed report that I've already been working on because I do think it's important for you guys to know exactly how we're doing.
I had mentioned definitely the number of calls and maybe a monthly expense report on the salaries and fringe, since that's what our portion is paying for.
I can tell you right now that payroll, our first payroll of the year was this week. But it encompassed 1 week from 2021 and 1 week from 2022.
We hear you.
We had the same problem here.
Yeah, and we also had a lot of people sick. We actually had, I'll be honest, I actually had to come in on the second day of the year because my paramedic that would normally be on had COVID. And if I didn't come to work, we would have defunct on the contract 2 days into the year. So unfortunately, I don't get overtime or anything. So I came and ran on Sunday the 2nd because we would have had a paramedic. And then we had a couple other people that were out sick. And because of that payroll for the last year, because 40 hours of sick time from 2021 plus 40 hours of 2022 plus people who had to work overtime to cover it, my first payroll kind of hurt me a little bit, but we're still within where I needed to be, and health insurance were great. I'd be happy to show you all those reports.
So health insurance, did you go through like a New York State?
So we were able to qualify for New York State small business,
Excellent.
which was a subsidized plan through the New York State Healthy New York program. We also required the employees to pay 40% of the premium cost, which was actually, because of the subsidized plan, was still very affordable for the employees. $90 a paycheck. So,
Very nice, Curtis.
It's all very impressive.
thank you. We're very excited to where we're going to go. I've got a dream board in my office that I've kind of just, where can we be in 5 years, and what else can we do? So, anybody have any questions?
No,
No, just keep it up. Good
really
job.
good.
Good stuff.
If you think of anything that you need or want to see in a monthly report, I can pretty much build anything out. And I know how much I'm gonna pick on her again. Patty loves her spreadsheets.
I'm sick of spreadsheets
We
now.
know that.
So I have a lot of them. So I have anything, or if there's something that you're missing, or if you're just curious on anything, please reach out. You know,
Like Bill said, it's a learning process, so things may change. So we'll just
yeah.
1 month at a time and go.
Okay.
We'll just keep the line of communication open, and that's the main thing.
Yeah,
Keep working as a team.
I agree. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you,
And again,
Curtis.
thank you very much for everything you guys did for us last year to get this ready. You know,
We didn't want to lose the, emergency services.
We've had a couple people reach out to us after they got their tax bills, and they're like, only went up $100, only went up 180. That makes perfect sense. You know, so we've had some of those receptions, and you know, Candor just really loves their squad. You know, we're happy to still be here. We're excited where we're gonna go.
We're excited
All right.
too.
All right, thank you.
Yep,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, planning board.
That's you, Ed.
Usually, Nancy, what
Have a good night.
Mr. Williams used to do is, well, seeing as how Ed's here, he will give you an update on the planning board report. But normally you could, if you really interested, you contact him, a little before, or if he can't make it, he can give it some kind of report.
Or go to their meetings.
I recommend that we start getting board at the meetings. I think it's a good tie for all of our boards to have that discussion.
Oh, that would be Patty and Nancy, huh?
So, let's see, we started off with the elections, they nominated and voted me to move to chair, vice chair Ken Kafka, and the secretary will remain as Art. So we had that, we talked about trainings. So the New York City training was supposed to be a live training. Ken Kafka had interest in going, but now it is virtual. I sent, I know I sent you, Bill, a copy.
Yeah.
I also forwarded it to Norma and our board.
I actually had.
So that went down substantially, right? Like,
Well, yeah, because
$100?
it would have been about $2,000 to actually go to New York
With the
City for
room
the 4 days,
and the buses.
food,
Okay.
$300, and I think it was $360 a night at the hotel.
Yeah.
So
Last time I talked to Ken, he had his knee done.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go shake
yeah,
his heels.
he tried, but again, he contacted me about an hour before the website changed, saying it was going totally virtual,
Mhm.
and said he wasn't going to be able to go. But now that it is virtual, I am going to request. Art is the only one that Art and Robin Beebe have reached out to me. Art, even though it's virtual, has other things that he needs to do, but I'm going to ask the board to approve $400, which would be 4 virtual attendees. It may be less than that, but up to $400. I have yet to hear from Candy Ross, and I have yet to hear back from Ken to do it virtually. I've taken the time off from work to do the virtual. Robin Beebe will be attending virtual. So if
Are you gonna meet here or something?
No, you do it right.
Oh,
in
you do
our
it on
home.
your own
It's-
computer.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
our own computer during the time. So that is a request that I'll be making, and then we'll work with Carol to use the credit card to get the approvals put in.
Yeah, how soon do you intend to do this?
Well, it's February, isn't it?
Yeah, we should do that now.
Yeah, the registration has opened online. I have not gone through it yet because they just literally switched
Right.
over to a virtual yesterday.
Yesterday.
I would
okay.
say probably give it a week or two. So by the end of July, or January, my mind's in July already. The end of January would probably be the best time to go on and do the reservations and everything.
You want a motion for that?
You know what, I believe, yes, I believe are you looking at 5 or 4?
Art said he couldn't, so only 4 as of up to 4.
Yeah.
I
And
move we
then, Bill,
approve.
that was something I had also asked you about.
That, we're gonna, yeah, that's gonna be no problem. As far as anybody that really needs to go, I'm sure nobody's gonna have an issue with that,
I
especially
mean,
when it's
it's,
this.
it's cheap.
Exactly.
When it's usually over $2,000.
And I'm gonna tell you, Ed, I went to New York City twice, and I don't see where you really get much out of it, because you're moving from one meeting to the next. You're not there. What they do is give you a quick layout of everything and this, that, and bang, you're off to the next one.
Yeah, and that's why I haven't ever shown interest in going to the New York City one. I've always wanted to go to the Association of Towns, or I'm sorry, this one's Association of Towns, the New York State Planning Federation, which is, much more focused, and I've really enjoyed that one, but, they're gonna probably be doing the same exact thing as well in, April, as making
I
it
believe they
virtual,
are
and they were free last year.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
we took advantage of some of those, they'll send us an email and they'll just randomly through the year have, hey, here's a training. So,
Yeah, so if you wanna,
Can you hold on to that?
you can make that motion.
I make a motion for up to $400 for the planning board to attend the, what is it?
they don't have.
Association of
the agenda
Towns.
No,
posted.
Association of Towns, but it's, what's the word?
Conference?
Virtual,
Honestly, I
virtual
don't know.
meeting, virtual conference.
Jimmy was not able to.
I'll second that.
I mean, because she's not.
Right, because
So
you're not,
okay.
you're
Gotta be a
not-
roll
you're
call.
not a member of
Aye.
the,
Okay.
Aye.
yeah,
Go for it.
association.
Aye.
Just checking.
Aye.
Bye.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
All right, so I'll let
I guess you
Candy
could shake
know
your
and
head.
Ken know and Robin, that we've been approved, and then we'll work with Carol to get the card number and get it
Okay.
all situated. We could all stop down at some time when you're here, and it's a web form, so. Excellent, thank you. The other thing was the Build America Act of 2021, which was the infrastructure law passed by our federal government. There are two things in there, and one was infrastructure for telecommunications and internet for all Americans. So I haven't heard yet how that's going to affect Candor, because I know we've worked very closely with Hayfley to get that in place, but for areas that still don't, there's probably going to be a push to get that put in. But the other thing that Schumer had mentioned, and it's also part of the act, is water and sewer for all Americans. So, I'm interested to see how that's going to go. But more to come on that. I know I've talked to the board about getting some areas on the main lines of 96 and 96B. How we can do for everybody, that I have no idea, because that's extreme. But if there is going to be monies there and how they're going to do it, it would be paid for 100% by the government.
Yeah, I think the village would be about the only place that would, really have opportunity for that.
Well, I need to find out what their plan is and how that's going to do, but more to come with that. And we also talked about the Amen solar farm. Worked with Jim to get the
239.
the 239 to county. So they're going to be doing the 239 on the 19th, and then they'll be coming to our planning board meeting in February to do the site plan review and seeker for the larger project, and they'll be moving forward with that as well. So
I have a question, just once, and I just realized this today, down here on Kelsey Road, all the solar panels on the storage buildings down there,
Mhm.
how long have they been there and what's going on with them?
So they were put on.
Is it 2 years ago?
There's a
Now,
permit.
Kelsey
It was
Road
before
forever, so-
I
It was
was
all-
chair.
Oh, it was,
board,
okay,
yeah.
all right.
But they did do.
Figured
I
you would know,
remember
so-
Bill, you.
I was still
or
here
Jim
then.
had worked with it. So yeah,
Okay.
they
Yeah.
went through the process.
That ain't nothing new then, I guess
Yeah.
I just ain't getting out no more.
Yep. They've been there for a while.
Go right around.
Gotta look besides the road, look around.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few
Go
solar
down
farms
Kelsey
up
Road.
in town.
You can't see them from the highway.
Well, you can if you
Well,
look.
if you really look. Okay.
Yeah, but those, they went through a process as
All
part
right.
of that, yeah. So it was good. Other than that, you know, it was nice transitioning back. I do miss your spreadsheets.
I don't.
And I did give Jim some paperwork ahead of the meeting to work with our new code enforcement officer.
Yeah. And I actually gave you some paperwork as well for the planning board to do, a couple of projects. Revise a couple of laws and, what were the two there? The one was,
Emergency management, or
Yeah,
emergency
the emergency
operations
operations
plan, and the other one was the online building permit.
yes,
Is that up yet?
the Board of Appeals.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay,
Yes, for the Board of Appeals, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, that, the building permit, I don't think that's online yet, is it? Did we-
No, the new one? Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah, I thought it was.
At
I
least I
saw,
put it there.
I saw it the other day. I checked on it.
Oh, good. Yeah, I assumed if it wasn't there, I'd go by now, because that's important.
Okay, if nothing else, Board of Appeals.
I don't have anything on that.
I see she's not here, so must be they're all set. The only thing maybe, well, I guess I'll do that when we get on new business. Old business. Little kind of an update on our federal money. Patty and I received an email. Go ahead, Patty.
We received an email from Greg Evans, and that's the gentleman that's going to be doing the formulas and submitting our forms and whatnot for us to make sure that we stay all within the guidelines, which have changed again. The day has finally come. Unexpectedly, the treasurer has issued the final rule. I'm in the process of reviewing, but wanted you to know that it's out. It is effective April 1st, 2022, but may be applied for earlier. One key thing you should be aware of right now is the change to the revenue loss calculation, which we're glad we held off because we would have been redoing it since they've changed the calculation.
We identified our projects yet or not? Is he gonna
We
be,
have not, that's,
he's gonna tell us what we can and can't do?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have some written down and what we want, well, we also mentioned about, the broadband with Hafley that we paid out and, the ambulance. And by the way, Hafley has called me about his next 30,000.
Did you ask him about the franchise?
I didn't call him back yet because I didn't want to address it until this year. We had nothing to take care of him in last year's budget. We already took care of part of it. And if I remember right, it was supposed to be a 2-year thing anyway.
Yes.
So we will get with him. I think we should push a franchise agreement.
I agree.
Even if it's just a little bit. I did look up what he pays us in taxes, property taxes in there. Well, it's not really property, it's whatever the state mandates them to pay.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I'm gonna work on him again with that.
Good.
If nothing else, we'll move on to, the new business. And what I have down here is a training school. And seeing as how it is virtual, I believe that, we should approve any Board of Appeals member that wants to go, not knowing how many it is, because we know there's only 5 on there. Well, yeah, I don't think I'd have to look. Did we fill that spot? I think we did we? Is there 5 on there now or not?
There's still 5. The one member will be leaving once.
We find somebody, that's what it was. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
So-
would that be open for town board members as well, Bill?
It is. Nancy's already looked into that
Okay.
herself and she said her class is only $75, so. Well, I don't care if it's 75 or 100. I mean, if it's something you need to attend and to get yourself familiarized with being on a board,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with
Is there a
that.
website for that?
I got a letter in the mail. I haven't followed up on it.
Oh, really?
I didn't get one.
With,
I think as a new.
New board member.
and I haven't seen an email, because he showed me an email for the Association of Town. So maybe that would also apply for board members and Board of Appeals members. It's all,
There was a segment for new board members, new
Yeah.
town board members, and that's probably what you're
I got
referring to.
both.
I should look for that email and I should send it to you.
Okay, and
Uh,
I can send you the information from the letters I received.
But that's a totally different training.
I'd wait till I got sworn in before.
Yeah.
So you have her email address then?
I don't, actually, Ange set her up with one.
Yeah, I
and-
did. That's what I,
Will you be using that one for
Probably.
correspondences? Okay.
Town
it's
board
basically
business.
first name dot last name at tomcandor.org. So Nancy.Rader at.
Oh, Nancy Dot. Okay, just like Code Dot, remember that?
Mhm.
I'm,
At Candor Town Board,
yeah,
all one.
here's information. And on the back is my email address and my cell phone. I'm sorry it's on paper, but I forgot to print it out until I walked in the door and saw you, so I did all that while I was sitting there. And basically, if you have questions, you can email me at webmaster.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes.
So this password,
You can change it, yeah.
I
okay,
believe so.
On our town website, there's, down here, I think it says, go here and there's help for how to change your
They're all
password.
wrong. I don't know why she
okay, so
said
I make sure I can read this capital
their
C
last name.
Yeah,
and 137.
yep, because it needs a special character, a number, and capital.
And then
That's a D, is in doctor, and an O and an R.
On this one.
D.
Yeah, and I,
I don't know.
no, there's no space, that's my bad handwriting.
Okay, got
My
it.
cookie paper handwriting.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah, and like I said, if you have questions, call me, my number's on there, text me.
You may want to change that quickly, because you guys just broadcast
Yeah,
that.
you wanna change
Right
that.
into the microphone.
Whoops.
Just to clarify though, once again, it was nancy.rader@townofcandor.org. Okay.
Nancy.Rader at-
We just did that, you were telling me that.
Nancy.Rader
Your age.
townboard.org.
I know.
Well, he said town of Candor, what'd you say?
Townofcandor.org.
Somebody's already at it.
Well, thank God that they have good spam hacking things on the.
So
on
no
the
town
email.
board?
You'd be surprised how much email.
Okay, man, I was way off, wasn't I?
Yeah,
No wonder it was so long.
that's what I wrote down too, so somebody must have said it.
So Bill, I'll set that up with a new password and then I'll be able to get
You want to do
Yep.
that?
emails from you.
That'd be
Corey's
great.
making it.
Jim or Patty, if you would,
Don't email.
I think we should make a motion to
A letter in the mail.
accept any Board of Appeals member that wants to attend this virtual meeting and or a board member.
Okay, I make a motion that we
Approved.
approve any Board of Appeal member or town board member that wants to attend this virtual conference in February, that we approve that expense
Second.
for registration. I,
Riker,
whoops.
Douglas,
Aye.
Rosa, Bricksty,
Aye.
Oh, whoops.
Rader.
Yeah, that's good. That way that's covered.
We'll get there, Ed.
And then what they'll do is like you're saying, that they should come in here and do that, set it up with her.
Yeah, you need a card or, to it.
I mean, could you go ahead and register with your credit card and then bring it in and get
If you bring a
reimbursed?
receipt, that's fine with us,
Okay,
if you want to do that.
that might be easier.
Good,
As long as we have documentation.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, let's contact together.
You're late for dinner.
Okay, if there's, I don't have anything else under new business. Does anybody else have anything yet? If anyone bring it?
The whole issue that they were bringing up, I guess it depends on how much you want to wade into it, and especially for a new code official. But I think there's a provision in the property maintenance for if there's a complaint somebody makes about a property, the code official has to inspect. And maybe that's an opportunity to know an unsafe condition.
Yeah,
if they're
the
doing
violation would go to the property owner.
it, are they, it sounded like it's a drug issue. Are they making drugs there? That's
Yeah.
a fire hazard.
But he would get the violation.
Well, he would get the violation, but wouldn't that be grounds for him to evict the people then? For an
Not
unsafe-
with the state now, no,
by
not
the
because
new
of COVID.
law. Well, if it's an unsafe, if it's a fire hazard, if there's structural issues, I don't think you can have people in your rental property though.
Yeah, but even on a complaint, they're not gonna give you access to the property. They don't have to give you access to the property. If it's on the outside and stuff and you notice there's, debris and garbage and stuff, you can write them up for a property maintenance violation, but you're not gonna get inside without a court order.
I thought we were
Well,
gonna
I just
investigate
thought
that more.
You could probably push a little bit through the code office if you wanted, but it's up to you how deep you want to get into that.
Yeah.
If the city of Ithaca's done that a lot for drug houses, they have a code provision where you have to have rental inspections and then go in, and if they note something that's unsafe.
Yeah, they probably have a local ordinance, I imagine.
Well, they do, but I
Yeah.
think there is something in the New York code that gives you some flexibility as well, so that might be something to explore.
Yeah, I can look at it. The property maintenance code has stuff like that for that,
But
but the access is the problem getting in there.
That's how they would tax some of the drug houses.
Yeah.
I think it's section 1203, so something like that.
Yeah, I know they've been to court here already,
Trying to get them out, yeah.
and as you can tell, not very successful at it. Privilege of the floor, if there's anything else? If not, Jim,
I move we adjourn.
I second it.
all in favor?
I
Aye.
Okay.
finally, the last motion I remember.
Whether they're agreeing to it or we got an active shooter.
One or the other.